Club D&B was free tonight as there were no covers, and there was a Dreaming Tree, A Fool to Think, and another show with both a tour debut and a unique opener. We're at 21 straight shows with both of those things included for this tour. The D&B post-show stream starts now. Hey, let's go Flyers, baby. Let's go Flyers.
It's your boy Concert Viz 34 back at home.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34.
Yep, so your boy Concert Viz 34 coming to you here.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998. And if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
But Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. What up, Philly? Shout out to Camden, New Jersey. Shout out to Atlantic City. Mount Holly, what up? Cherry Hill, what up? Newark, what up? Shout out to Pennsylvania. Harrisburg, what up? Hershey, what up? Shout out Lancaster. West Grove, what up? Shout out to Delaware. Hey, shout out to my Baltimore hitters too. Y'all not too far away. Norristown, what up? Allentown, what up? Bryn Mawr, what up? Shout out to all my Delco hitters in the building. King of Pressure, what up? South Philly, what up? West Philly, what up? North Philly, what up? Shout out to Temple. Go Owls. Willingboro, New Jersey, what up? Wilmington, Delaware, what up? What up? What up? It's your boy Conserviz 34. I think my internet connection is hurting right now. I just tried to switch over to see if it'll be better on my phone. All right, and it looks like we're still running into some issues, and I'm looking at it's my connection. It's not you guys, it's me. Let's see if we can switch back and get a little bit more. All right, I'm hoping we'll get this, but if it is a little bit of a lag, my apologies. Thank you for joining the DMB post show stream tonight. And let's go ahead and bring up that set list. And there it is. Let me know in the comments too. What did you think of this set? If you were there, did you like it? Did you hate it? Thank you for you guys who leave comments, who give your perspective from the show. Um, I thought tonight's show definitely packed some bigger punches. They saved some of the gems for the middle and end of the set. But I want to again defer over. In a second, I'm gonna get things set up for our guest Jeff, who did get I Did It first since 2002. And we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the last time it was played, and later on in the show, and about show length again. We'll rehash it because we're gonna see some information from Camden 2002 that you look at the show length, it actually was shorter than these shows. But I want to start off with getting the perspective from someone who was there. I'm not going to go on a 5 minute rant. I want to go right to Jeff. So let me just unmute him. And we're going to get him set up to come on. Jeff, how you doing tonight?
All good. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Uh, just real quick before we start, the battery on my phone's very low tonight. So if I cut out, that's the reason why. I'm probably not gonna go as long as last night, but just to let you know, I'm a little bit low on my battery, and so if I get cut off, that was the reason why. But yeah, so all right, let's do it.
All right. And if you need to get a charger, go grab it as well. But so let's start off with this. What was your overall reaction to the show?
Uh, uh it was kind of like night and day in a lot of ways. Probably like the Grand Rapids, Michigan people. Night one last night, in all honesty, I would probably give it a 6 out of 10. Tonight, night two, Camden, I would give it an 8.5 to 9 out of 10. I mean, it was good. It was a great show. It was show number 46 for me, and it's right there in the top 10 for me, ever of shows that I've been to. It was tonight was a banger. It was great.
Well, and that's quite the turnaround. We're glad to hear that things were better for you tonight. And I think that was the consensus of people back home, like me, watching on Couch Tour and just looking at the set, trying to hear what we could hear from the streamers, as there was no Volta stream or anything tonight. Take us through the opener, Stay or Leave. What was it like as the band takes the stage and starts off with that song?
So last night, night one, I was in the seventh row from the pit on the horn section side. I was seventh row. Tonight, I was in the lawn, and Camden lawn is fun. It's not gonna get hyped up like a Deer Creek lawn, but Camden Camden's lawn does it up. It's a good time. So I was just kind of getting to my spot in the lawn, and Stay or Leave starts. the The band like got on at like 7:40, 7:42. So it was like maybe 5 minutes earlier than I thought they were gonna kind of start. So uh Stay or Leave was unexpected. It's kind of an odd, weird opener. Just like last night's opener was weird. So wasn't really expecting uh Stay or Leave or like a Some Devil song to open. Little strange, but people were kind of still making their way. I mean, it was packed tonight. It was, if it wasn't sold out, it was 95% sold out. It was packed. Uh, and I don't know, like people were still kind of making their way in the lawn and their seats, and Stay or Leave started, and it was, look, Stay or Leave's a great song. It's Staley's in it is a top, I don't know, 30. Staley's a top 40 DMB song from, or a top 30 song that I think that Dave has ever written. And so never ever going to complain about it. A good opener? Eh, I don't know. I'm not so sure about that, but it was unexpected. I'll just say it was unexpected to start, but you know, not terrible, but also not the greatest opener in the world either.
All right. And then the next thing we want to look at, so much to say, anyone seen the bridge, a little too much fake, or really just that pause for a bit. And then they go right into Dream Girl, which I don't think anyone had on their bingo card that the fake was going to be in a Dream Girl. What'd you think of that run?
Yeah, it was great. So like, you had the kind of the odd stay or leave opener. People are still getting to their seats. And then so much to say, which is of course like, it's a classic by the band. So people are getting excited. And then you go into the bridge, which if anybody knew what was going on today in Philly, the Ben Franklin Bridge was closed the entire day for like the 100th year anniversary celebration of the bridge, of the Ben Franklin Bridge. So it was a kind of when anyone's seen the bridge, we a lot of us thought that that was going to be the opener. Anyone seen the bridge because of the Ben Franklin Bridge situation in the city in Philly. But anyway, the bridge starts. Um, it was great. The crowd's super, super into it. Everybody's loving it. And then, like you said, nobody had, nobody had Dream Girl uh, after. But no, but it was a good thing. It's not a bad thing. So it was different. It was surprising, and everybody around me was, including myself. We were like into it. Okay. Uh, and in some weird way, not that Dream Girl's a better song than Too Much per se, but it was just good to kind of get that instead of the typical Too Much, which most people have heard Too Much a million times. So to get that in the Dream Girl it was a surprise, but like a good surprise, and the crowd reacted in a positive way.
All right. And then after that, we get Pig and One Sweet World, two classics that come back to back.
Pig is my favorite DMB song of all time, and I would put it like one or two all time of songs that Dave's written. I would probably put The Stone number one, and then Pig is right behind it. So obviously, I was very happy. And uh, if you ever heard of that guy who dresses up in the pig costume
Zach
and is like
Johns,
in the
yes.
lawn at DMB, yeah, he was there tonight, and and I could actually see him like an eye shot on the left hand side of me, um, a few people down, and when that started, I kind of looked over at him, and it put a smile on my face, like he was. People are going crazy around him, and he's jumping up and down, and so yeah, Pig is always good, and One Sweet World. I wish they did the instrumental intro, but they didn't. But right into One Sweet World, and as the sun is still out and kind of setting, One Sweet World out on the lawn in the summertime. I mean, it's kind of like how the song was written and should be outside, uh, in an amphitheater. One Sweet World is always always a good one.
And with that song, Tim Reynolds, looking on Couch Tour, I looked over and he had an acoustic guitar. What was it like to get that song with him on acoustic versus having the electric?
Yeah, better on acoustic. Couldn't I was on the lawn. I couldn't really hear exactly what he was doing on the acoustic with it, but I mean that's welcome anytime. Any hardcore DMB fan knows the One Sweet World opener on Live at Luther College is epic, right?
Yeah.
So if Tim brings out the acoustic for One Sweet World, it's just kind of like it reminds you of that. So even though I couldn't really hear him that prominently on it tonight, with the rest of the band kind of, you know, playing over him with the acoustic, I'm all for it. So that's fine by me.
All right. And then
And at
after,
least he's trying. Like they're trying something new. So it's good.
yeah, no, definitely. It's always great to see that effort or experimentation to have that acoustic, nylon acoustic on, or even like what you mentioned, Dream Girl coming after anyone seeing the bridge to keep things fresh. It's always appreciated. And after One Sweet World, they go back to a song that used to get played a lot the last couple of years, but this year it's only at 4 plays. Madman's Eyes. What do you think of that song?
I mean, I've gotten it many times. Post, let's call it the COVID pandemic. When they came back on tour. A lot of people do their beer runs and bathroom breaks to this song. Um, I gotta say, I'll just say this: Madman's Eyes. If you listen to Dave do it on Howard Stern show a few years ago,
Yep.
solo on the 12 string,
Yep.
that's the best version I ever heard of the song.
Yes,
Uh,
I do remember that.
anyway, full band. Oh, it's incredible. I love I listen to that version a couple times a year. It's incredible. On the Howard Stern show, Dave solo, 12 string, Mad Men. That's like the way that it should be. But anyway, there was a pretty big exodus. Probably 25% of people went to that was their bathroom break and beer run. Yeah.
All right. And then you get your I Did It. Walk us through what it was like as Dave grabs the baritone. We know it's not going to be by you. Maybe it's the space between. Maybe it's so right, but he plays I Did It. What was your reaction?
Well, if you listened to the stream last night, I can't believe the if I heard the 2003, 2004 Jeff say that he was excited to get I Did It in a show, I'd be shaking my head. But this was show 46 for me and year 23 of seeing the band, and I've never heard I Did It yet. And I got my first one tonight, and I was pumped. I was so excited, and I took all 4 minutes of that I Did It, and I really soaked it in. And even people behind me and stuff, I was pointing at people, and we were singing the song, and yeah, I enjoyed all 3 minutes and 50 seconds of it, and it was amazing. I was so happy. I got it checked off my list finally, and Broken Things was not checked off the list tonight, and Spoon wasn't checked off the list tonight, and but I Did It was, so we'll take it.
Yeah, and first time since the year before you started going to Camden in 2002, it was played night one. It comes back and you get it. You were not the only person. One of my friends, Alex Sohani, I believe he had never heard it before, and he goes to Camden pretty regularly and was going to a lot of shows 2010, 11, 12, 13. Like he was going to as many shows as he could and still never got it. So just like you, wasn't his top song when he was first a fan of the band in the 2000s, but because it's so rare, it was fun for him to experience that based off of one of the posts he had today. Next up, Can't Stop. What did that do for you personally? And then after you talk about what it did for you, if you liked it or hated it, what did it do for the crowd?
Uh, I think it's a bottom. if there's 200 DMB songs, I put "Can't Stop" in the bottom 10. So I wasn't. I feel like this song follows me. This song follows me everywhere. I can't. Whether I go to Madison Square Garden, or I go to Charlottesville, or I go to Camden every year, this "Can't Stop" follows me. I'm like, ugh. But for the people that like it, God bless you. But I just no. And again, it does nothing for the people. I saw a few people kind of into it, but it's rare. And again, kind of an ex. Whoever didn't go to the bathroom or grab beers during Mad Men, they did during Can't Stop.
Okay. And by the way, it's a stat here. 3 years in a row that it hits Camden.
It's
So,
like it makes no sense, but yeah.
and what I will say though is there are songs that stick with venues, whether it's a couple of years or even longer, and maybe Dave ties this song to Camden because you'll have a song like Shotgun has been played twice in the last run of shows post pandemic at Camden. Captain gets plays at Camden more than the average venue. And so some of these
Mhm.
songs are great gems. Other songs like Can't Stop, while some fan somewhere likes it, it does not hit for the mainstream loving fan or the deep cut loving fan. So we'll talk more about that later in the show. I have wanted to talk. We'll go over that. But next up, Dancing Nancy's into, and then Dreaming Tree follows, and then another pause of like, okay, what is Dave gonna do when he does Dreaming Tree? What was it like to experience two of these classics back to back?
Yeah, for all my whining about Can't Stop, the next part of the show is just it was the best part of the show. The beginning of run of the show was very good. Again, set flow, the set flow tonight was like the opposite of last night. It was just this is where they killed it. I mean, Nancy's obviously a classic, and then you're thinking, okay, probably Warehouse. And they just go into Dreaming Tree and people respected it, loved it. Um, I screamed out, Camden's the new SPAC. Camden's the new SPAC. And, people are laughing and they're like, yeah, yeah. I mean, this one guy was so into the Dreaming Tree. He was like, it was almost like he was like, he had his hands on the back of his head. He just couldn't believe it. He was so happy. And then it was a great version of Don't Drink the Water. It wasn't a slowed down version like it was in Grand Rapids, which is really cool. But it was just a banger, heavy Don't Drink, but like in a good way. And then the drums kick in for Say Goodbye with Carter, and I'm like, please don't be Gravedigger, please
Yeah.
don't be Gravedigger. And it was Say Goodbye, and it was a great version. Dave's voice was really good, and it was amazing. And then I love Fool to Think. I think Fool to Think is a top three song off of Every Day. I could hear it every show or every other show. Never be like to me so right. Full to Think, What You Are off Every Day, or just
Yes.
all three are bangers.
Yes, I agree.
And they're bangers. And Full to Think, which by the way, Full to Think in Camden pops up kind of a lot, and I love it, so I can't complain about that. um I've seen Full to Think open in Camden twice in my
Wow.
my DMB career going there, so it's pretty sick. And then I was not expecting Full to Think in any way. And then like a little back to back everyday album stuff, When the World Ends, which okay, again, it's like a 3.5 minute song, not that big of a deal. So that was okay. Um, but that was just kind of cool to get back to back everyday songs. But the Nancy's, Dreaming Tree, Don't Drink, Say Goodbye, Full to Think. I mean, that was a hell of like a four-song punch. I mean, the crowd, everybody was into it. Nobody went anywhere. It was great.
In summer 2023, Camden was the only summer tour stop that got Dreaming Tree. We'll see if it plays anywhere else, but another kind of stat there. Last 4 years, two Dreaming Trees in Camden. Again, two shotguns. You've had a couple of captains. You've had, like you said, Fool to Think finds its way.
Point, but it's okay. The set was so good tonight that I'm not gonna get that picky. And Steady as We Go is good. It felt like it was relatively short, and people liked it for the most part around where I was. Um, yeah, it was like 4.5 minutes and it's over, and but it was good, and it let Buddy shine a little bit, so that's cool. So no complaints
And
there.
what was your reaction to the next song, American Baby, coming back after a long hiatus here from summer tour shows in the East Coast?
I wanted to hear it. I don't think I've heard American Baby since 2005. I went to MSG winter 2005, and it's probably the last time that I've heard it. So it's been a long time, and uh, I was happy to hear it, and I was paying attention to this version of it, and in the version it was really, excuse me, it was really good tonight. It was a really good version of the song tonight. It sound polished.
And last night, the final two songs of the main set last night, we talked about how the energy did go up. What was it like to connect the dots where you have this main set that does flow better and you have an everyday in Ants Marching to close out the main set? Jeff, you there? Hello, Jeff, are you there? Oh, I think we lost him. I'll see if he comes back, but great insight. And you can tell this same fan, the set was not all deep cuts, but same fan last night, things felt a little bit different for what he's used to in Camden, going since 2003. Tonight, his perspective has changed, and it's just a couple of flow tweaks that gets him to feel better about this show. And I also, Madman's Eyes, I forgot about this. Dave had like a solo intro versus the Buddy piano intro, and that's kind of cool. I'll have to listen back to that. The stream, I wasn't getting good connections, or maybe they didn't have good connections. Either way, I'll have to listen back to that Madman's intro when it comes on Nugs tomorrow. Baby Blues, the E1 tour debut. You know, I talk about my disdain for some live Big Whiskey songs, and mostly that's because they love the chorus of Rapunzel, and just that I think the world of you, or the breakdown or the hook, whatever it is. Like, it is such a beautiful chord progression Dave plays on that. And so we've been spoiled throughout the last couple of years by way of the Rodrigo Simas invention of P&P and the other songs that he's been talking to the band, trying to convince Dave to do for years. And Dave has finally, in the last couple of years, adopted that. So we've been really spoiled. Like, I was like, I wonder if it's gonna go in a two-step or maybe P&P into the Stone. But hey, Rapunzel, you do it there. So a little bit of power taken away slightly from the E2. That power was distributed to a better main set, in my opinion, and you have a better show. Now, I will say this, and I'm not just saying this because I was not there, because I feel the same way about some of the SPACs I've been to in the last couple of years. One thing that I was thinking today, and it also coincided with when I took my son to 7-Eleven, and it's free. You get free small Slurpees at 7-Eleven on Saturdays. I mean, 7-Eleven today, Saturday, July 11th. And this is a tradition that my dad used to take me and my brother all the time throughout the summer on a hot day. And I'm like thinking, do I really want to leave my son to go to more DMB shows? If this is what Camden is for this was a great show for those who could make it. But do I want to add more Dave Matthews Band shows with the cost and some of the question marks of how the 2-night stands are? And so I think tonight's show, if you've never seen Dreaming Tree, if you've never seen I Did It or American Baby, maybe you wish that you could have been here. But if you're like me, and I've been fortunate, I saw Dreaming Tree in Hartford in 2013 for the first time and saw it 2 other times or 3 other times. I can't remember off the top of my head. But like, I've never seen American Baby, but like, would it have been worth it to pay $175, $200 for Pavilion tickets to Camden when I already have SPAC and Guilford lined up? Looking at the sets this weekend, there was nothing that was like, oh, dang, I really missed something that I really wish I could have been there for. If I'm going to SPAC and I'm going to Hartford and I'm going to Guilford. And so I do think that while tonight's show was much better than last night's as far as the flow, while people did have a great time, I'm not going to deny that people did not have a ball at this show. I do think that there's a little less umph from this Camden weekend compared to what you would have gotten 3 or 4 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, 10 years ago. And that's okay, right? That's okay. But all things considered, I think what I would suggest to some fans who maybe are looking at these says like, oh, they didn't have, like, it's better. Maybe it just means you don't travel as far. If you're in Philly, go to the Camden shows. Just like if there's a show in Hartford, I'm going. But I think there is something to say about the rising cost to see these shows and some of these shows having some really great, Dreaming Tree, you can go home happy, but do you want to fly 3 hours in the air cross country or part way through the country for Camden? Or if you vice versa, if you live in Camden, New Jersey, would you have wanted to fly to Deer Creek? Right? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. And everyone's at different steps in their career and their journey with this band. Right now, I'll just say with me, I don't think this weekend was worth going out of my way to attend. But if I lived closer to Philly, I'd probably be there. If I lived in Baltimore or if I lived in, Westchester County, it's an easier trek to get down to Camden. So I do think that's just interesting. Would you was there a FOMO of this weekend? Like Dreaming Tree has been played at other places. Don't get me wrong. I just caught it last year at Guilford. It's a great song. They should play it at Guilford this week. Play it night 1, repeat it. Play Dreaming Tree back-to-back shows. But is this overall weekend worth it when you look at everything to go out of your way to add shows? I don't know. But if I look at the beginning of the tour, I think the beginning of that tour with Jake being there so heavily, I would almost say, yeah, the beginning of the tour was worth adding a show or trying to get to a show. And so that's just my opinion. I think it's not to take away from anything that Camden got tonight. Let's go ahead. We're going to get some more because I think we lost. Okay. I think we lost Jeff, but I'm glad he was able to come back on. I'm going to close out the chat room. We got some video. We got a video and we have a, let's see. I just realized we were switched in. Let me go ahead and get our video from DMB Triple. Now it's not the whole crew. I wish we could get the whole crew on here, but it is Pat O'Brien. Also, Pat just made a site called What Would You Play? It's a set list game with some different rules. There's been some tweaks and improvements, but what he also has, he has like a what is it called? A survivor pool, or like he has a kind of like a street game where you can pick the opener, call the opener, and you can kind of play it for fun and see how many shows in a row you could maybe call the opener, right? And so he's got a So Much to Play hat on, but check it out, somuchtoplay.com. Set list game for Ants does a great job as well. But this is just another option to play. And there's other ways you can play Dave and Tim. And again, there's more games within the game, but either of those are fun setless game with Ants or So Much to Play, which is literally come out the gates with some improvements. They had an Android app from like really early on as well, so that fans who couldn't, when Ants didn't have their Android app just yet, it was So Much to Play had that access. That was the other appeal of it too, to allow people in at the time, the small window where So Much to Play started up, and Ants didn't have their Android app yet. But let's listen here. We have Pat O'Brien, we have Robin McNamara, and we have Steph as well from Richmond. Let's listen to what they're saying here.
Hey, Marcus.
Hi, Marcus.
We're doing a show. We're kind of in the line for the ferry, so we might get a little dicey in a second. But we're just giving you a recap from our experience at the Camden show tonight.
Lovely Camden.
What was it? It wasn't Dream Girl. What was that name? Oh, yeah.
Dreaming Tree.
Dreaming Tree? Almost made me cry.
My first Dreaming Tree. It was amazing.
The crowd was amazing. They love glow lights. They love glow sticks. We love the glow sticks. But legit, other people brought different ones and were throwing them. So, I mean, we were in good company.
Nancy's.
Steady
as we go.
Steady was great.
What,
Ants was great. I love Ants.
Was great.
Yeah.
I thought the Too Much Fake into Dream Girl was great, but the crowd went kind of stagnant. But I thought it was great.
Anything else, you guys?
I mean, Dreaming Tree really was the highlight.
I would say so,
Just
too.
love Camden.
And God, yes.
It's the best venue.
Come to Camden if you've never been to Camden. You're missing out. Any final words, guys?
So Much to Play is great.
Oh, yeah. So much to play. Plug it. That's a setless game, and you're missing out.
We're going to go home and go to bed.
Yeah. 90-90.
Bye, Marcus. Love you.
Bye, Marcus.
All right, yes, a little plug there. So Much to Play. Check it out. Let's go ahead. We're going to listen to some audio from... Oops. Uh-oh. Where did that... Oh, shoot. That was on the wrong screen. All right, so we're going to listen to this audio file from Darren and Leah.
Hey, Marcus.
What up?
Night 2, Camden Magic.
Don't miss a night 2.
It was amazing. The day started off pretty rainy, pretty yucky weather this afternoon.
Yeah, 2:30 there was severe thunderstorm that came out. The outside merch tent staff and the parking lot staff was all evacuated, go back inside the facility because of the thunder and lightning.
Like
shelter in place.
So they let you stay
outside? And they let us kind of stay underneath, because outside, I was at the outside merch tent. They let us stay like outside the awning on the Walt Whitman entrance side of the facility. And then around like 4 o'clock, the staff fully came out. So that's roughly when they started opening up the parking lot for everybody. And then about 4:20, 4:30, they opened up the outside merch tent.
What did you say about the posters?
There were a lot of posters out there tonight. Usually, like for an outside merch tent, I only see 50 foils. They probably had at least 100 to like 75 out there, so good amount.
We did not get a foil. We just got a regular poster. We thought it was interesting.
Aquarium feels.
Wasn't my favorite, but we got it. And weather, luckily cleared, and it wasn't as like hot and sticky as it was last night. It was pretty like cool and breezy. Like walking into the venue, I feel like tonight was like fuller than last night. I feel like where we were sitting last night, there were a lot of empty seats. I feel like it was pretty full. It definitely felt like sold out tonight versus last night. The stay or leave start was different, but I think that's only the second time that the full band has ever done that. So that's cool. Different. They're doing different openers.
Yep.
And then the So Much to Bridge, Too Much Fake and a Dream Girl was really cool.
Yeah.
I like that when they like do it into a fake, and then Pig got a really big crowd pop.
Oh yeah.
Dominic, what happened with Madman's Eyes?
It was a big bathroom break.
Lots of bathroom breaks during Madman's Eyes.
I was surprised with the pop in the crowd for I Did It.
Yes, and shout out to Jeff, who was on your stream last night. He got I Did It, and I was thinking about him when they played it. That was really neat, so I hope he enjoyed that. Dancing Nancy's another big crowd pop. I felt like everybody went crazy for that. And then when they went into Dreaming Tree, like a lot of people like were leaving to go to the bathroom again. It was really weird. I was really happy to hear Dreaming Tree.
That was a triple D. I liked it. The dancing, dreaming,
and don't drink the water. Yep. Don't drink the water. Got another big like crowd pop. And to say goodbye. And then everybody, like, there was a mass exit during Fool to Think, which hurt my feelings. I love that song so much. I don't know. I think the flow was really good tonight when Steady As We Go started. Dave's vocals were just amazing. I don't know. Rob Stevenson, if you are listening, like, Dave just sounds so good this summer. Those vocals were just, he did such a good job during that song. I can't say anything bad. Into American Baby, Every Day, Ants Marching. Just like a solid way to like end Baby Blue. Such a good E1. And then P&P and Rapunzel, like classic. Yep. Everybody for the like there was just high energy. Lots of people just dancing, having a good time. No one was sitting down. Yep. We thought it was a great show.
Very steady, consistent.
Yeah, I felt like it just kept going up like the whole night. I don't know. It was great. We had a good time.
Good time.
Yeah.
Could have played good time, but
anyway, so that's our little review. Thank you for having us on the show again, Marcus, and we hope to see you at SPAC next week.
Yep. Go Birds.
Good night, Marcus.
All right. And that's a great transition. He talked about Dreaming Tree, and I saw someone on Twitter, I just was looking at it, talking about, they said fans were leaving and, not really respecting the song and appreciating it. Listen, I've only been around to shows since 2012. Only started listening to the band in 2005. So I have not been around for the entire ride and really have come on later on. But my first Dreaming Tree was in 2013 in Hartford. And when that was played, there was so much respect for the song. Now, you always have people that are talking. There's somebody somewhere talking. But even the people that were kind of, lubricated with alcohol that night, they stopped and they were like, okay, wow, Dreaming Tree. And there was a respect for it. Even like my first Captain that same night, right? Again, this is why I'm such a big deal. This is why I became hooked on the band. My third show, there's Dreaming Tree, Captain, Rhyme and Reason, JTR on the 12 string. Anyway, 34 T's on the 12 string in it. But I always talk about that. But the point is, that was my third show ever. And I'd been a fan since 2005. But I was like, okay, this is what fans do when these rare songs hit. But nowadays, Dreaming Tree and Guilford, now Guilford still had a good crowd. And that's why I don't want people finding out about Guilford that are going to talk. If you know someone who's talking, let them know not to go to Guilford, because it's one of the last frontiers where you can actually get people not yapping all the time. But during Dreaming Tree, there was a younger group of guys that just kind of were like talking during it. And so, but even I was like, yo, what's going, really? But they were also younger, so who knows? And last year at SPAC, Cry Freedom and Loving Wings, both, while played, people were leaving, going to the bathroom, which is fine, but they were talking too. And so I don't know, maybe you guys know, you guys can better pinpoint the ebbs and flows of the fan base if you've been to more shows or you've been to shows longer than I have. But I just felt like when Captain hit in 2013, I got it twice. I got it in Hartford and in Mansfield. Even if people didn't know what it was, you could hear it. Some of the recent captains I've gotten, like MSG, I went to MSG, the world's most famous arena. The ticket prices were not cheap, and people did not, like, there were so many people that just didn't care about Captain. They were yapping during Captain. And you had Mark Whitfield on his jazzy guitar, his jazzy, super expensive guitar, and people still were yapping during it. And I get not everyone's going to know every song, but there's a lack of respect for even these quieter or smoother or in like special moments for some really great rare songs that it's hard to catch. So I thought that was interesting there. And J-Bo says it looks like Jake may be done this year. Who knows? I know Connor came on the stream and said that he heard that Jake wasn't coming back. Maybe that was from someone that talked to Jake, I think, because Jake has been talking to a couple of fans and met a couple of fans recently. But I feel like there's some conflicting possibility that there still may be another Jake show, right? If and when that happens, I don't know. Obviously, Guilford he won't be at Guilford. Like, he's not going to be at Guilford. Hey, maybe he proves me wrong, but just the scheduling and all that. But there's a window between SPAC and Hartford where it's still possible. Again, I don't know what's what. Maybe Jake is telling people that he's not going to be there, and he is. I don't know. But there's conflicting momentum of what's going to happen with Jake for the rest of this tour. And I don't really know what. I can't be like, oh, I'm 100% confident he's coming this year. Like, I don't know. He may not come back. But I guess we'll have to just see. But I just advise for everyone, even me going into, like, for Guilford, 100%, do not expect Jake to be there. Like, just don't. It's not going to happen. Could there be another violin player? I don't know. But for the shows like SPAC, between SPAC and Hartford, you got to go with the mindset that, hey, I just want a great set with the current band. The current band does not include a violin player as a touring or permanent member. You have to have the mindset that that's how you're going to get a show. That maybe there's a guest that plays another instrument, but you can't lock in that's going to be a violin. You're setting yourself up for failure. Some people did that with Deer Creek and they were let down. And mentally, it messes you up when there are some great moments with the current full band, like if they play a JTR or a Dreaming Tree, because if you're thinking about violin, that you can't do that. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, Camden. And so, again, this has been an ongoing discussion. And I know a lot of times I'm just kind of talking to the people that have a different perspective than me. I'm somebody who's like, I'm fine with the band ending where they're ending shows now. Like, if they had another 15 minutes, they probably would just play a Jimmy thing anyway. They're not going to play 15 minutes full of like super rare stuff. But what we need to do is we need to go back, because the last time they played I Did It. Now, this show is not tracked by the Almanac just yet. Let's see if they got the numbers for this one. They don't have it, but the Almanac will work over the next day or so to get the timings. And the team at the Almanac, they listen to every song. They're with their stopwatch or their timer to see when the music starts and when it stops. And they do a phenomenal job. So at some point, they'll have these numbers filled in because both shows have audio available from tapers and or Saturday night, SXM, Sirius XM. But there was at least one taper there tonight. But if we go back and we look at the venue history and we go down to 2002, yes, there were less songs, but the band still had a decent sized catalog, and you had these 2000 songs, you have everyday songs and busted stuff songs. So the catalog really was increasing exponentially from 2000 to 2002. If you look right here, it says song time. This is 7/16, right? This is the, oh wait, am I looking at the right one? Oh, there were 3 nights, right? So the first night of shows, right? You have 2 hours and 6 minutes and 36 seconds, right? That's night 1. Night 2, this is when the first ever, this is when the last I Did It was played before tonight at Camden. You have 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 14 seconds of total song time. If you look at the left of your screen. Okay. That show is shorter than the shows that we were getting this year. And so this is, in 2002, this band is on the rise. They are in what I consider the prime of the band, from talking to different people who were going to shows, listening to audio and stuff. They're still in their prime. And they're playing 1 hour and 44 minutes and 14 seconds. And so people who are like, oh, they're not playing 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's relatively new, right? You're not getting like consistent long shows at Alpine until you really get to the mid to late 2000s. And when you get to the Big Whiskey era, that's when they really started to really have some of their longest shows more consistently. Not just Alpine, because Alpine has a little more time to play music a little bit longer than most city venues or suburban venues. So anyway, I say all that to say, listen, give me this is the prime of the band, and they're giving less time per show. If we go to the 18th as well, this is a 3-night stand, right? It looks like, right? And there's 1 hour and 55 minutes and 20 seconds of music. So again, now they were playing more shows, but they were much younger. They're over 20 years younger than they are now. And they still were playing short shows, 16 songs, right, for these shows. And so I don't care that the band is now, they're just over that 2 hour mark for most shows. Some of them are a little longer. I don't care, because some of the best years of the band, you're getting 1 hour and 55 minutes and 20. Now, you could argue about what songs are being played, because back then I believe there was a better catalog of songs to choose from. It was a smaller catalog. There was less room for error during this time. As you see with this show, you get a Dreaming Tree tease, a 34 tease, Pig. Now, Satellite is maybe your one bathroom break. You never know. Space Between comes after that. It was fairly new at that time, so maybe people appreciated it more. Kit Kat Jam, So Right, Seek Up, Grace Is Gone, Crashing to Me, Raven, Drive and Drive Out. A Jimmy thing, like a Jimmy thing from the better era of Jimmy things. Where Are You Going, Billy's? Funny How Time Slips Away, to a Big Eye Fish tease in the Gray Street. That's the show. That's it. But there it is. It is what it is. All right. The next thing is Volta does have both of the shows available that were aired live this year for the summer tour. So go to volta.live. And also you can go on to the various apps. You can find all of that on Volta's main website. You can download apps for Google, like the Android store, the Apple store, Apple TV, for the Amazon TV. Like, you can download all those from the Volta website. But Kansas City, not Kansas City, Grand Rapids Night 2 was added late yesterday, I believe. If not this, I noticed it this morning. And then you have Deer Creek Night 1 still up. So both on-demand shows are available. That's great. So definitely check them out. Definitely support them. The more clicks, the more viewers that come in, the better it looks for management, where they cannot deny that people want this stuff. That's really what it comes down to. We need to show the powers that be that we're going to support this stuff. We have to. Otherwise, they'll just either keep it the same, slow it down, or shut it down. And so if you want any hope, you can say, I want it to be on YouTube. I want it to be on Nugs. Here's what's great about it being on Volta. If you have to have a Nugs account. You have to be able to be paying, or you have to have the promo free trial for warehouse members, or there's a 1 month free trial. After that, you have to pay for Nugs just to log in. Now, there's a lot of great things included with Nugs, But if these streams are on Nugs, yes, some people would be willing to pay for it. I would. You have to still pay for it. Right now, as Volta is growing and developing, they are offering free live streams. And now the video on demand is available. And so now you can rewatch it as many times as you want, stop it, switch cameras, mess around, and it's free. Will it always be free? I don't think so. But now you have an opportunity to take it and enjoy it as they're building up the website, as they're looking to have more consistent streams. We had Grand Rapids was the best one so far, but now they need to show, okay, they can do it for here. They can do it at the Gorge. They can do it here, like whatever they decide next, right? Or that they can do it at SPAC. They can do it here, right? They can do it at Jones Beach. Whatever they're going to decide to do next, they're trying to develop a pattern to show fans that they can deliver a good product. And while they're doing that, this is free. So go to Volta.live. Again, I know some people on YouTube were upset that YouTube rips got taken down. But if it's free on Volta, why wouldn't they want you to go to Volta? And why wouldn't you want to go to Volta when it's the full experience? You can change the cameras. You can chill with Carter. You can chill with Dave. And it's free. You sign up, make a free account, and you have access. Yes, YouTube can be easier for you just to go on the YouTube app, but you're not getting the full presentation. And again, this stuff there's a lot of hard work that the Volta team put into the casting to TVs, the Apple TV, the mobile apps that you can then, use on your TV. They put a lot of work into that. So let's support it on the right platform that's free right now. All right. I still think there's a lot of songs that, I think, here's the thing. American Baby and I Did It have stuck around. I think it's great that they've stuck around. I was hoping that Kit Kat Jam would have stayed around too. I think that's a little bit of one of my Kit Kat Jam. Well, not Kit Kat Jam, Broken Things, Snow Outside. Those are three songs that you've gotten here and there, but I wish they did touch more weekends. I really wish there were more weekends where we got those songs like this weekend not have. And some people, I get it. There's an argument that some fans don't like they're not as happy for Kit Kat Jam. They like it, but a Kit Kat Jam without lyrics is not as valuable to them, especially if they've seen it before. But a Kit Kat Jam, I think it would have elevated this weekend, especially Friday night. It would have elevated it for some fans, made the trip worth it, right? And so I wish that they would have played it this weekend. Snow Outside, Broken Things. Again, those are just songs. Cha Cha was played last night. Was it? I got to double check that. But Cha Cha, I wish it hit more stops. No, it was not played. That was Kansas City. Or not Kansas City, Grand Rapids. I keep mixing them up. Grand Rapids. And so I wish that it did get over here to the East Coast. Some of this stuff from the beginning of the tour. And a lot of certain songs do go away. Beach Ball has come up in Texas and never made it to SPAC. Certain years, right? But I think a lot of people have been anticipating Kit Kat Jam, Broken Things, Snow Outside. And even if just two of those gets played in a weekend, I think we need more two-night stands with those songs. And that's the downside of them playing out the catalog. The downside is, okay, we get Can't Stop, but we're not getting Broken Things. When Busted Stuff was touring, yeah, some weekends didn't get Busted Stuff, but Busted Stuff took a victory lap. American Baby is taking a victory lap right now. And I just wish that some of these other songs, like Kit Kat Jam, Broken Things, and Snow Outside got a larger victory lap. They're coming in here and there, but I wish it was more. All right. Oh, let me talk on this. And some of you guys may already know this, but I love discourse or discussions or debates where we can have someone has a different opinion than me, right? And they challenge me or they say something that say, oh, I don't like we do this. And so this is not to knock somebody. Someone did comment on my previous stream And again, I want to commend them because they had a different opinion. They came onto my platform and they commented and said what they didn't like about it. There's too many echo chambers. I know a lot of you guys like a lot of the stuff that I like too, and that's why you watch my channel. People who like every song on the set list aren't going to watch my post-show stream. That's fine. I get it. But I do like when you can have discussions and make progress and clarify and have, even if you agree to disagree, you can get a better understanding. Cam says, shout out to Cam in the chat. He says, do we think Kit Kat Jam is taking a break so that Dave can put lyrics to it? I don't think so. I don't think that, but that would be cool if they come out at the Gorge and Dave has some lyrics to it. I think Dave is trying to make sure he remembers all the lyrics from his other songs. And I give Dave credit. If I was in this position, listen, I'm 35. I'm already tired. I already want these shows to end earlier. I want them to start earlier, not end earlier. I want them to start earlier so they can end earlier. And I'm a fraction of the age Dave is. So I commend him for staying up past his bedtime. I commend him for having to play all these songs with different lyrics. I think Dave is trying to knock down the lyrics of his current songs because he's playing so many of these songs this tour that maybe Kit Kat Jam did. But I would love to see that if Kit Kat Jam had it. But great question, Cam, there. Do you think he's saving it to then pull off some lyrics for a later stop? All right, but going back to this. So someone said, yesterday in my last stream, every time a newer song gets broken out, this dude, me, complains about it. It gets old. Maybe we don't need these tour debuts. Okay. Dave will stop doing them and then you'll complain about it. So I love this. And some people in the comments were trying to defend me and I appreciate that as well. But here's what I'll say. First off, I do like a lot of new songs. That's why I've been pushing for Snow Outside and Broken Things to get love. That's why I've talked about how much I love Cha-Cha. And I'll tell you this, maybe you guys know this, maybe you don't. I am absolutely in love with It Could Happen. I've only gotten it, I think, once or twice, but I love that song. It's from the latest album the band put together. I think it's a nice, tiny little song that when you need a little bit of a break from the high energy, the band needs a physical timeout. It Could Happen is a nice song. And I think that if we go back to 2003, I'm going to go back, 2023. This was right before the Mansfield show I went to. One of the coolest things about early on in 2023, this show right here, this is in Maine, right? And so in Maine, they played It Could Happen, and it had a little bit of an additional energy and oomph to it. They also debuted Cha-Cha, which was a song that's still unreleased, and nobody really knew it existed until this show. This show in Maine, right before I went to Mansfield for a show. It was the day before. And so this was a Friday show and Mansfield was a Saturday show. And Cha-Cha I was like, yo, this is awesome. And so I get to the next show, It Could Happen wasn't played, but I got Cha-Cha the next night. And I'm like, yo, I like this song. So I do like newer songs. It Could Happen, Cha-Cha. I actually like Sweet too. I love what they did with Sweet, where they kind of revamped that outro live. Right? I like Drunken Soldier. My first ever marathon, in nearly close to tears. I used to hate running. I'm at mile 26. I'm trying to get to that point too. As I'm crossing the finish line, Drunken Soldier, not Stone, not 41, Drunken Soldier. Right? Cam is in the chat. He says we need to push for Straight Shot. I liked Straight Shot. I do think it's a couple rungs below some of the other songs I really like that are newer. But even Straight Shot, I don't mind Straight Shot being on a set. I was actually at the first performance of Straight Shot. So it's not that I don't dislike the newer songs. I think a lot of the newer songs from the recent albums, and even some of these songs have been around for 20 years and they just added them to Come Tomorrow or Walk Around the Moon. I think a lot of these songs don't serve a purpose to boost crowd momentum or to please a deep cut lover. right? So the person who made the comment last night, I think they were upset that I was talking down to Can't Stop, right? And that's their opinion. They liked Can't Stop. I don't like Can't Stop. And I actually heard it before Come Tomorrow came out. I heard one play of it when it was in its old school form, and it was slower. And I like that better than the current version. And so a song like Can't Stop, as we heard Jeff say, yes, somebody always likes, some people like Come Tomorrow. I think that's the word. Like, that song is the bottom of the barrel. And it flopped as a single. But if we go to Can't Stop, right? Can't Stop doesn't engage the fans who love the hits, because Can't Stop was never a hit. And the deep cut lovers, you can always find someone who likes it, but most of the fans who are chasing A Dreaming Tree, A Fool to Think, American Baby Coming Back, people who are chasing that stuff, they don't care about no Can't Stop. They went to the bathroom. Right? So Can't Stop doesn't really do much for any set. There's some people that are going to dance to it, but that's it. Right? Same thing with Come Tomorrow. Come Tomorrow, the title track from that album, they tried to push out Come Tomorrow as like this like song on the radio station. They put out a video, right? And it flopped. It was like nobody like really, it never gained any traction. They did a remix with Brandy Carlisle on it, and it still had zero traction. Come Tomorrow was never a song that landed. Great Message never landed. And so when I'm talking about some of these songs, I'm not just thinking about my personal opinion. I'm thinking about how did it fare with even the fans who love these wedding songs or the hit songs. And it doesn't move the needle at a show. Come Tomorrow does not move the needle at a show. Yes, there was somebody I saw on Facebook who was like, does anyone have video of Come Tomorrow from Grand Rapids? And so, yes, there are a couple people that like Come Tomorrow. But the song, most people who love You and Me and By You and all those other songs that I don't like, but they're still super popular in this fan base, Space Between. People who like those songs don't really care about Come Tomorrow. That's also why the album didn't really do that well commercially. Right? They had to sell those albums with every ticket to get to number one. And so I'm all about, with newer songs after 2004, or you could even say Big Whiskey to present. Let's just say Big Whiskey to present. All right, forget that. Songs Big Whiskey to present. Does it get the casual fan or the fan who loves the hits to sing or to get excited or grab the hand of the girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife they're with? If it does, that's a positive for the set, even if I don't like it. So forget about me. The second thing is, if it doesn't do that, does this song make somebody at home say, I need to go and add the Gorge because I think they're going to play this song at the Gorge too? Because the Gorge covers a lot of the special moments. They repeat some of those songs at the Gorge as like a final presentation of what the summer's been like. And so when a song like American Baby Intro or Shotgun starts rearing its head after times where they hadn't been around for a while, people will try to go to the Gorge just to get that song. Raven comes back, right? When Buddy joined the band, and Raven, like, oh, Raven's back. And in 2019, sure enough, I went to the Gorge and they played Raven. So is that deep cut going to make people really want to get back on tour? If it's yes, like A Dreaming Tree, that's good. If it's no, then it's not a positive for the set. Now, Dave can play whatever he wants. But all I'm saying is there are certain songs that don't hit a mainstream crowd. And most deep cut lovers, not all, but most deep cut lovers, looking at Facebook, looking at Ants, looking at all the different forums, and I check what people are looking for. If it's not going to land well for those deep cut lovers, it's a waste of a song. In my opinion, if I had anything to say about anything, that's my opinion. So the song She does nothing for the set last night. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Yes, somebody there was hoping for that song, and it was like a stone chance in a big ocean that they were going to get it, and they were going nuts. Maybe let's give it a benefit. There were 3 people there that were like, "Oh my gosh, she came back." Outside of that, crickets. And so my philosophy is, if a song has either of those things, a mainstream appeal, it was a former radio hit, or it's a deep cut that people literally buy a ticket to the gorge for in large numbers, that's worth it. But if it's not, those are the songs I critique, right? You don't hear me talking much about Bayou anymore, or You and Me. That comes from maturity of like, I will make a joke here and there, but like, I just say, okay, those are songs people want to hear. Right? I don't like Sped Up, Don't Drink the Water, but most fans, the overwhelming majority fans in the crowd, love Sped Up, Don't Drink the Water. It was played tonight. It added energy, as we heard from our guests. So anyway, I do want to, and again, I always open different opinions, but I always want to make it clear too, like, okay, this is my perspective. Yes, I like these new songs, but a lot of new songs to me don't have the effort, the production value, the composition value of some of the older stuff. There are stuff that's good, and there's stuff that's grown on me, and I'll give the band credit. They have changed around things on newer songs to make them better. Rooftop is far better now than when they first played it and didn't have that new breakdown. Sweet is far better with the new kind of extended jamming at the end, right? Mercy was better when they had that Buddy grazing in the grass interpolation outro. Although now I think Mercy isn't that good. But Mercy, though, to be fair, is a song that hits well with fans of a certain demographic in the fan base that are there hoping for a positive, uplifting message. Right? Can't Stop doesn't have that type of message. Okay, it doesn't. It doesn't have that, okay, this is hope for tomorrow. Okay? And so there. Yeah, so that's my little spiel. Always open to people giving their thoughts, whether you agree, you disagree. And same thing, if you go to a show and you like Can't Stop, come on the stream. I want to hear your perspective. Because again, I don't think it's just one way to think about this. I will provide a lot of detail to the point. I'm on here. It's an hour, 14 minutes of the stream. I like providing context of why I think the way I think. But I know that I would be so arrogant to think that there's only one way to digest Dave Matthews Band. I'd be very arrogant, and I think that's not true. But I am willing to make the case for certain things and provide supporting details. And I am willing to understand, even if I'm strongly against a song in a set list, there's a reason why the band does Sledgehammer. There's a reason why they do Watchtower, because they're massively loved by most of the fans. And most fans aren't going to 4 or 5 shows a year. Most fans nowadays are going to 1 to 2 shows at most. Yes, a lot of people on social media that you meet, some of your friends, if you're watching this stream and you're checking out what I'm talking about, you probably go to more shows than average. Right? Someone says every song can't be a banger nor a deep cut. It doesn't have to be. It can be a quiet song, but some of these songs are just so poorly written. Instead of playing Come Tomorrow, play Grace Is Gone, play Looking for a Vein, play something else that, okay, yeah, maybe it's not the best of the best, but it's better than Come Tomorrow. Like, it's just, it has more, there's more, it's a fuller song than Come Tomorrow. And I think that's also the second thing is, the person who posted yesterday said something about, oh, you're going to be mad if there's no more tour debuts. No, I'm not. Matter of fact, if the band, let's go to the slotting. If they repeated an opener, if they opened with JTR, like, look at this. 6/26/26, right? That was, I believe that was Deer Creek. Was that Deer Creek? Yeah, that was Deer Creek night 1. If the band opened Camden, or if the band opens Guilford Night 1 Tuesday when I go with JTR, I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, they didn't repeat it. I mean, they repeated an opener. I got to open it that they already did before. I've already seen JTR open the show 4 or 5 times. No, I'm going to be happy they played JTR. Same thing if they don't have a new tour debut, but my next show in Guilford has Snow Outside, Kit Kat Jam, and Broken Things all in it. I'm not going to be like, oh, there was no tour debut. I'd be like, oh, they're bringing some of the best stuff they've played so far to the show that I'm at. I appreciate that. And so I've learned from this tour, it's not just about unique openers. It's not just about every show having a tour debut, or this has never been slotted in the encore 2 spot or the encore closing spot, right, in Squirm. Some of this stuff just maybe they don't even need to explore it. Let's just let it be. Maybe you do need to open up 2 different shows with JTR, or maybe there's 2 shows that open with 41. But 41 is a song that engages the fan base. Yeah, so that's my perspective there. What is next? Okay, so a couple of things here, because I will be at the next 4 shows and then coming back for Hartford. So, what is it? What is this saying? BC Drum says, watching your stream since the started. I'm in Canada. Love your content. However, Dave doesn't really care about each audience member. Right. I know that. So I know he doesn't care about every audience member, but the set list writing in the last couple of years, it's clear that he wants to have overall themes. And also I understand with the age of this fan base, the age of the band, Carter may not be able to do certain things. So, okay, we don't get a couple of songs, and they may need a couple of songs to slow down, right? All I'm saying is that for the sake of the show flow, the song that they play, like Looking for a Vein, has been used a lot to cool off. All I'm saying is that it's okay if they use a certain song as a transition song to slow things down for 3 or 4 different shows in a month. So Grace is Gone, or Looking for a Vein, or Sweet. Like, if they pull a song and they just keep using that as a way to get everyone rest, or get certain people rest, like maybe Carter needs some rest, so they play the song that's easier for him to play. I'm not opposed to that. All I'm saying is you don't need to bring out Come Tomorrow for it. The band can do whatever they want. I'm just saying the frustration in the fan base from Camden Night 1, there are people that never complain about sets that were like, yo, that felt weird. And so the band learns and adjusts. The night 1s in Grand Rapids and Camden have been pretty rough for like just the flow of the show, not the songs, but the flow. And so they've course corrected for night 2s, just like any old aging basketball player may have a rough first half. Any sports team in general can have a bad half, and they adjust in the second half. And so that's all I'm saying is, okay, what could be done to possibly help that flow for everybody, not just me, everybody. And I appreciate the support, and I appreciate the pushback, because this is great. This is how we learn and have conversation, right? What can be done? Okay, maybe you do play this song 16 times. Like, if we even look at the total songs played, right? What's the song counts so far? So there's been 9 warehouses. There's been, like, Pig has been played 7 times this tour. Pig is in the top 3 of total. Like, when you look at, it's tied for 3rd place in the total amount. Best of What's Around has been played 7 times. So, okay, they haven't played. I'm trying to look at one that they haven't played as much, right? That they typically play more frequently. Yeah. Like Monsters has only been played twice, right? Maybe they channel Monsters a couple of times for the show flow. That's a better transition song than some of the other ones that have been played in some odd show flows. So maybe they channel in Monsters a little more. Maybe, or maybe Dave just is sick of it too. But I just think it would be a better benefit. But and again, I appreciate all this. Thank you for the support. Brian, I think he just came on. What are people saying about the flow and energy? I think night 2 had a better flow. That's what I'm hearing from online. That's what I'm seeing online. That's what I'm getting text messages, and I talk to people after shows who were there that I know, and it seems like, and also the big thing, Pat O'Brien on the from So Much to Play was on one of our reviews just to get a Dreaming Tree. There wasn't a song last night like Dreaming Tree where someone's like, oh my gosh, this is the song I can walk away with. I'm in near tears, or I'm so emotional because I've been like, this is such a rarity. There wasn't really a song last night like that, right? Dreaming Tree, Fool to Think, Pig, these type of songs all being in the set, and they were spread out amongst the set. American Baby, even I Did It just being something fans were looking for. But yeah, so that's where we're at. But I will be at the next couple of shows. Now, the goal is to capture at least the night ones. I don't know what's going to happen with Volta. I probably won't. I probably will know when you guys will know if there is an upcoming live stream. But if there is a live stream, I may not record that show. And I'm talking, this is specifically for the content on you guys see on my channel. I may not, like, if they do pull like a night 2, like a SPAC night 2 or a Guilford night 2 or even a Hartford or something like that, it's possible I may not record. I may still record the full show. I may not. But I would, I think I'm at the point where I love capturing this stuff to make the multicams, but if I can just not have to record for a show, it'd be awesome. I still, even when I'm recording, I'm holding it right here and I'm looking up and singing. I still feel like I'm part of the moment, but I may not record. However, for the night ones, Guilford night 1, SPAC night 1, if you have video, even if you record night 2 and maybe I decide to record it, if you guys have video, message me on Instagram, Twitter. You'll see it at the end of the show. Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, ConcertViz34. And I would love to get the video because I still want to make these multicams for shows that aren't going to be up on Volta, because there's so many special moments that, I want to preserve. So I plan to record the full show, night 1 of Guilford there. Same thing with SPAC night 1. Hartford, again, we'll see what happens with Hartford. This is the final show of the tour. We have seen Camden night 2 be the final stop in the first leg of the tour. So this first run before they take a long break. Camden's been live streamed in this situation, so we'll see what happens. But if it is live streamed in Hartford, I may not record, because that'll be the last show of the tour that I go to as Hartford, so I may not record there. But if it is not recorded, maybe I do record and all that. I will also be at the shows, so if you guys want to try to say hi, say what's up, I would love to meet many of you guys that I've met before. And even if I've never met you, I would love to catch up, just talk. I love talking to music. Forget about, I love hearing your perspective and all that. So night 2 is going to be the better night for Guilford. Night 1 for Guilford, I don't know exactly how free I'll be. Being able to roam the lots, all that stuff. But night 2, definitely for Guilford. Want to try to hang out, say what's up. I'll be in. And also night 2, my friends are playing Mount Pleasant, that band. They love DMB as well. They'll be playing again. They were there last year for night 2, and they are going to be returning. They'll be returning for night 2. They'll be playing on the Little Hazy stage in the concourse before the show starts and also after the show. So definitely check them out. There is a night 0 party in Concord, New Hampshire. So definitely, if you guys want something to do for night 0 for Guilford, Concord, New Hampshire will be the place to be. Let me just find my friend Emma's advertisement on that. Let me see if I can find that. and that way you guys can have a better understanding. Let's see. All right. Let me just try to find this real quick. I'm trying to see. I'm sorry. I should have had this up. Let's see. All right, so Bicentennial Square in Concord, New Hampshire. Bicentennial Square in Concord, New Hampshire. This is right next to Wine on Main. My friend Emma owns that wine shop, and she's a huge D&B fan, so she's been doing this Night Zero. That's 9 North Main Street in Concord, New Hampshire. Wine on Main, 9 North Main Street, Concord, New Hampshire. Right there is right next to Bicentennial Square. Yoga from 1 to 2, live music from 2:30 to 4:30, a food truck at the location, pop-up shops all afternoon, and there are public bathrooms there as well. And then 146 North Main Street, located from the State House. It is that's where there's going to be a pop-up shop and meet and greet with D&B's photographer Sanjay Suchak. Let me get this thing saved, and I'm gonna put this on the screen. Sorry about this, but this is important. If you're going to Guilford Night Zero, definitely check this out here. So I'm gonna put this map up. But Sanjay, who takes photos for Dave Matthews Band, he is going to have a special exhibit. And so here we go. 146 North Main Street in Concord, New Hampshire. You'll be able to go there. That's number 3. So that's a little further down Main Street. But where you want to be for most of the day is 9 North Main Street. Free wine tasting all afternoon. Yoga again 1 to 2. Live music 2:30 to 4:30. And they'll tell you how to get down to the writing gallery on North Main Street. If you ask any of the people there at Wine on Main, they'll be able to help you out. Sanjay will be at the exhibit from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. So you can meet him, talk to him. You should be able to, I'm sure there'll be photos that you can buy, or talk to him about buying a photo from a show he's taking things on. So there you go. That's the map there. All right, that should be it. I'm at 90 minutes. I'm almost as long as the band song time, but I'm excited. There's a lot to look forward to for me personally with my first shows of the year. I hope to see you guys there. Talk to some of you guys, and again, I want to try to deliver you guys some content, some video footage from these shows, eventually live streams. Tomorrow, Sunday. Well, now it is Sunday, but July 12th at 7:30 p.m., there will be the premiere of my Guilford Night 2 multicam. This has been almost a year in the making, and I've gotten some great footage to add to my footage to make this a really great show to relive. This show had that epic Halloween, the Lion Our Graves reprise before it that closed out, the Lion Our Graves kind of sandwich-ish outside of Halloween, kind of being outside of the sandwich. Guilford Night 2 multicam tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, YouTube Concert Viz 34, this same channel you're watching this on. It'll be live there. Come join us at 7:30. If you can't watch it live, it'll be available for replay after the world premiere. The world premiere is in 1080p HD. After that, it'll be upgraded to 4K, so you can watch it in up to 4K resolution wherever you're taking in the multicam. All right, let me shut up. Let me end this. Let's end on Fool to Think. A great friend of the show, Lauren Madera. She had been hoping the band would play Fool to Think. She went to Deer Creek in hopes to get it. They did not play it there. They did not play it in West Palm Beach. They did not play it in Charlotte or Raleigh, and she went to all these shows. No fool to think she missed it. But tonight she got it in Camden, New Jersey. She's gotten the song a bunch of times, but it's one of her favorites along with The Stone. And so for that, we'll play Fool to Think from SPAC Night. I think SPAC Night 1, 2024 to close out. So it's your boy ConcertViz34. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see some of you guys very soon this upcoming week between Guilford and SPAC. Peace.
What up? Videos. I'll help.
You would take me home as if I was